The next LOS, let's see what is the next LOS talking about. So time weighted, so these are the calculation I have done, this is the understanding. They are saying that we have to compute the discounted instruments, we have to compute this all these yields. Now what are the discounted instruments? So in US Treasury market, what is discounted instrument? So there is a instrument which is called as Treasury bill. It is trading at a discount. Okay, so if you consider the face value to be $100, it's a discount instrument because it does not pay any coupon. Coupon is 0%. Coupon is 0%. It has a maturity of less than a year. So all the treasury bill have maturity less than a year. Face value is 100. So initially they will be trading at a price which is below 100. Okay. So it is trading below 100 and at maturity it reaches 100. Okay. So what happens is, let's say if this treasury bill is trading at $98 and let's say there is 9 months to maturity. There is 9 months to maturity. We want to understand how much return it is producing. There are different measures. One is bank discount yield. Bank discount yield, which essentially is a bad yield. It's not a good measure. In bank discount yield, what we say is the return is given as, okay, how much is the discount. So your discount is your face value. Your face value here is 100 minus the price at which it is trading. The trading price is 98. So your discount is $2. That means from 100 it is less by 2. That is the discount. So your discount 2 divided by the face value. So please, first we'll write the formula. Discount divided by the face value. Okay, so which is 100 into 360 divided by the time remaining. Okay, so there are various issues with this bank discount yield. One of the issue with this bank discount yield is, if you see the denominator is 100, so face value. So here we will write 2 by 100 into 360 by time how much? 9 months. Please note that this 9 months would be taken as 270 days. So if instead of writing month, we'll say that how many days. So each month is treated essentially as 30 days. So one of the issue is, like, when you are computing the return, we compute it on the basis of the amount that we have invested. Here the amount is invested is not 100 but it is 98. So it is not proper to measure this on 100. So first problem is, the number one problem is, should compute on price rather than face value. What is the other problem that you are seeing? The other problem that we are seeing is that 1 year is taken as 360 days, which is not the case because it is either 365 or 366. Then what is the third issue that you are getting? Third issue is that what is happening is, if you do this multiplication, it is actually meaning that you are doing a simple interest. Okay, the interest is simple. It is multiplication with the time, that how many time periods you have. It is a simple interest. It is not a good measure. Okay, so what we do is, we have tried to modify that with another measure which is called as money market yield. That is called as money market yield. In money market yield, what is being done is, instead of computation on the face value, it is done on the price. So the formula for that is D by P into 360 by T. Okay, so it is trying to resolve this first issue. The first issue it has resolved, but the second and third remains the same. That is 1 year is taken as T, then it is taken as a simple interest. So that money market yield, it doesn't solve that issue. Money market yield, it solves only the first problem. Okay, so that is a formula for money market yield, and computation would be very straightforward. Discount is $2, price is 98 into 360 by how much? 270 days. So this is your money market yield. Okay, then the third yield that you will compute is, let's say you want to compute a holding period yield or holding period return. Okay, so how do you compute this holding period return? Holding period return is given as P1 minus P0 plus D by P0. Okay, So what is P1? P1 is the price that will be happening at maturity, which is $100. What is P0? P0 is the price at which you are buying. And what is P0? P0 is also the price, so it is nothing but $2 by $98. So your holding period return is 2 is the return that you are getting divided by 98. So that is your holding period yield or holding period return that you are getting, right? Okay. So if you try to break up this formula of this money market yield, so what we have is money market yield is written as 2 by 98 into 360 by 270, or we can write this as 2 by 98 is nothing but D by P, dividend divided by discount divided by price, into 360 by T. This can be written as D is the discount, this is the price, so D by P. So instead of money market written like this, we can write as holding period return into 360 by T. That is also one way to write the money market return. Now in the next LOS, they are considering lots of computation, like from holding period to annual yield and all those things. Please note that all these yields can be converted within themselves. So bank discount we have covered, money market, holding period. Then there is one more yield, effective annual yield. Okay, so how do you consider effective annual yield or effective annual rate? Now you will find that we have already computed a effective annual yield earlier in the time value of money. That is the yield that you will be getting in the year. Okay. Now here, how do you find out? So let's try to identify this. Okay. Suppose you are getting in 30 days 1% return. Okay. How much you will get on an entire 365 days? That is the idea. So in this case, what we say is, we have to find out how many periods are there in this. So one period is how much? This is 30 days. So one period is 30 days. I need to find out how many periods. So the number of periods that we have to find is, the number of periods, can I say that it is 365 by 30? 365. So effective annual yield formula that we had learnt was 1 plus periodic rate to the power number of periods. So we are essentially finding out the number of periods, and then we are also interested in finding out the periodic rate. Periodic rate is nothing but the holding period rate or holding period return, right? So we can say holding period return or holding period rate. So we have got the number of periods. Number of period is 365 divided by the time. So in this case, if the days was 270 days, your number of period in a year is how much? How many 270 comes in a year? 365 by 270. That is your number of periods. Correct? That is the number of periods. So periodic rate is holding period return. Right? So your effective annual yield or effective annual rate in this case will become 1 plus holding period yield to the power 365 by T. And this is, please note that 1 plus should be there. Please note that, so here is minus 1 is there. So this is the formula of your effective annual rate. Okay. So your holding period return is coming in EAY. Your holding period return is coming in money market also. So, and also like money market is linked to your bad yield or bank discount yield. So you may be required to convert one into the other. So one to another. Okay. And I would say that rather than depending on any formula, you should try to do it logically. So let's try to solve one problem. They have given that bank discount yield is given as 4%. Okay, 4% is a bank discount yield, and then this also give you that how many days are remaining. So let's say that 60 days are remaining to maturity. 60 days are remaining to maturity. Okay, so a treasury bill is there which gives a bank discount yield of 4%. There are 60 days to maturity. Okay. Now how do you write this bank discount yield? Bank discount yield you will write as D by F into 360 by T. Okay. Now whenever we are solving this, please note that D is not known to me, but F I can assume it to be 100. Okay. Now once I take F to be assumed to be 100, RBD is how much? 4% can be written as 4 by 100. What is discount? That I do not know. What is face value? is 100 into 360 by this is 60. So this 6 and this 100 will cancel. So your D will become 4 by 6 or it will become $0.67. So your discount is $0.67. Now can anybody give me the price? Yes, the price will be nothing but the face value minus discount, which will be 100 minus 0.67. So it will become 99.33. So your price will become $99.33. Now once you know the discount and the price, can I demand RMM from you, money market yield? Yes, definitely. Your money market yield will be how much? D. So money market yield D by P into 360 by T. So it is 0.67 divided by 99.33 into 360 by 60. So this will be 6, right? So this 6 into 0.67 we already know is 4. So your money market yield will be 4 by 99.33. So if you compute this, 4 divided by 99.33333, it comes as 4.02685. 4.02685, marginally more than that. So that means your money market yield is greater than the bank discount yield. Okay, so that is one. And here if I ask you to give me this bank discount yield was given, you have to give me the holding period return. So from bank, so we have converted from BAD to money market. If I were to ask you to convert from BAD to holding period is what? D by P. So you would have just given me 0.67 divided by 99.33, right? If you would have asked to BAD to give me effective annual yield, you would have given me, you would have computed the number of periods. Number of period will be 365 divided by 60, and you would have added 1 plus 0.67 divided by this D by P and to the power 365 by 60 minus 1. So that would have been your EAY. So you could get BAD to MM, BAD to HPR, BAD to EAY. Okay. Also you could get